Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the most exclusive and captivating update from the glamorous, high-stakes world of daytime drama. Today is a beautiful day to unravel the tangled webs of passion, betrayal, and corporate warfare that keep us entirely mesmerized. Let's dive right in. The glittering, cutthroat landscape of the Los Angeles fashion industry has just been struck by a seismic event of unprecedented proportions. The sudden and shocking resignation of Eric Forrester from the Logan brand has sent a terrifying shockwave through the city's elite circles, completely upending the fragile balance of power. This was not merely a quiet departure or a simple shift in corporate alliances. It was a devastating, earth-shattering declaration of war. The fashion earthquake generated by his abrupt exit has left executives, designers, and media moguls scrambling to comprehend the sheer magnitude of the fallout. The Logan brand now finds itself standing on the precipice of absolute ruin, staring down the barrel of a conflict that will undoubtedly reshape the industry forever. The true horror of this situation, however, lies not just in the corporate ramifications, but in the profound, deeply personal betrayal that has entirely shattered Katie Logan Spencer. When Katie first embarked on the ambitious journey to build her own fashion empire, Eric was her guiding light, her trusted mentor, and the foundational pillar of her confidence. He had promised to help her launch the Logan brand, offering his unparalleled expertise to ensure her success. Now, that profound trust has been violently weaponized against her. Eric has officially filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Katie, accusing her of the illegal appropriation of his life's work. For Katie, the realization that the mentor she revered above all others is transformed into her most formidable enemy is a psychological blow of catastrophic proportions. The details of Eric Forrester's multi-million-dollar lawsuit are nothing short of ruthless, painting a grim and perilous picture for the newly minted Logan fashion house. The legal filings explicitly accuse Katie and her husband, the notoriously predatory Bill Spencer, of blatantly stealing the cherished, proprietary sketches that Eric had poured his soul into. This is not a mere dispute over creative differences. It is a full-blown legal assault aimed directly at the jugular of the Logan empire. The lawsuit demands exorbitant financial restitution for the millions of dollars the Logan brand has already raked in from their debut collection. Every runway show and every glamorous press release celebrating the Logan brand's triumph is now being scrutinized as evidence of grand corporate theft. The juxtaposition of the Logan brand's recent, intoxicating success against the dark, looming shadow of this lawsuit creates a dramatic atmosphere thick with irony and dread. Just days ago, Katie and Bill were toasting to their global dominance, watching their debut collection illuminate billboards across the world. They felt invincible, riding the high of a flawlessly executed launch that seemed to cement their status as the new titans of the fashion industry. But that victory now tastes like ashes in Katie's mouth. The dazzling garments that strutted down the runway are now the very shackles that could drag her company into bankruptcy. The glittering facade of the Logan brand has been violently stripped away, revealing a vulnerable, legally embattled enterprise fighting desperately for its very right to exist. However, anyone familiar with the brutal, unforgiving nature of Los Angeles corporate warfare knows that Bill Spencer does not absorb a blow without delivering a devastating counterattack. True to his ruthless, predatory nature, Bill has responded to Eric's multi-million-dollar lawsuit not with diplomatic negotiations, but with a vicious, scorched-earth retaliation. Utilizing the massive, unchecked power of Spencer Publications, Bill has launched a series of dirty, relentless media attacks aimed squarely at destroying Eric Forrester's legendary reputation. Bill views this lawsuit not just as a legal challenge, but as a personal insult to his wife and a direct threat to his empire, and he is fully prepared to cross every moral and ethical boundary to protect what is his. The mechanics of Bill Spencer's smear campaign are as insidious as they are effective, showcasing the terrifying extent of his influence over the global narrative. Through anonymous leaks, strategically placed tabloids, and aggressive digital media blitzes, Bill's machine is actively planting seeds of doubt regarding Eric's mental acuity, his relevance in a modern fashion landscape, and the true authorship of his historical designs. The dirty media attacks are designed to humiliate Eric, to paint him as a bitter, fading relic of a bygone era who is desperately lashing out at the innovative, rising stars of the Logan brand. By weaponizing his media conglomerate, Bill is attempting to win the legal war in the court of public opinion before it ever reaches a judge. This explosive legal and public relations war has effectively pushed the already strained relationship between the Forrester and Logan families into an unbridgeable abyss of hatred. For decades, these two powerful dynasties have engaged in a complex dance of rivalry, romance, and reluctant alliances. But this conflict has shattered any remaining illusions of civility. The multi-million-dollar lawsuit and the subsequent dirty media attacks have transformed a corporate dispute into a venomous blood feud. The battle lines have been irrevocably drawn, and the animosity radiating between the two camps is palpable, toxic, and all-consuming. There is no longer any room for compromise or reconciliation. This is a fight to the death for supremacy, legacy, and survival in the cutthroat world of Los Angeles fashion. Caught squarely in the terrifying crossfire of this unbridgeable abyss of hatred is Hope Logan Spencer, whose recent, highly secretive career moves have placed her in an impossibly agonizing position. Driven to her absolute breaking point by Steffy Forrester Finnegan's condescending leadership and the repeated shelving of her beloved Hope for the Future line, Hope recently made the monumental decision to defect from Forrester Creations. She secretly signed a contract with the Logan brand, bringing the talented Deke Sharp with her, in a desperate bid for creative freedom. But her dream of a liberated, triumphant fresh start has rapidly mutated into a suffocating nightmare. Instead of focusing on her highly anticipated launch, Hope now finds herself trapped in a vicious war zone. The internal conflict raging within Hope is a profound, agonizing psychological torment. On one side, she is deeply loyal to her mother's family and is contractually bound to the Logan brand, relying on Katie and Bill to provide the platform she was denied at Forrester. On the other side, she holds a deep, enduring reverence for Eric Forrester, a man who has always treated her with kindness and whose legacy she deeply respects. Watching Bill Spencer launch dirty, malicious media attacks against Eric's reputation makes Hope feel physically ill, challenging her fundamental moral compass. She sought refuge at the Logan brand to escape toxicity, only to find herself complicit in a corporate strategy that is arguably more vicious and destructive than anything she experienced under Steffy's rule. Meanwhile, the outrage echoing through the halls of Forrester Creations is deafening. Ridge Forrester and Steffy Forrester Finnegan are absolutely incandescent with rage over the illegal appropriation of Eric's designs and the subsequent, cowardly media attacks orchestrated by Bill Spencer. For Ridge, seeing his father's legendary reputation dragged through the mud by the Spencers is an unforgivable sin that demands immediate and brutal retribution. Steffy, who has always harbored a deep-seated disdain for the Logans, views this lawsuit as the ultimate validation of her long-held beliefs. The Forrester family is mobilizing their vast resources, preparing to fight back with everything they have. The atmosphere in the executive suite is electric with a dangerous, vengeful energy. As the war escalates, Katie Logan Spencer finds herself grappling with a profound, terrifying moral crisis that threatens to tear her marriage apart. While she is devastated by Eric's lawsuit and desperate to save the company she has poured her heart into, she is fundamentally repulsed by Bill's dirty, underhanded media tactics. Katie has always prided herself on her integrity and her moral superiority, striving to operate with a level of grace that her husband so often lacks. Watching Bill gleefully assassinate the character of a man she once deeply admired forces Katie to confront the dark, uncomfortable reality of the man she married. This ethical dilemma is a ticking time bomb that could detonate the very foundation of her relationship with Bill. The existential threat to the Logan empire cannot be overstated. This multi-million-dollar lawsuit is not merely a hurdle. It is a guillotine poised directly over the neck of Katie's ambitions. If Eric Forster successfully proves that the Logan brand's debut was built entirely on his stolen intellectual property, the financial penalties will be astronomical, effectively bankrupting the newly formed company before it even has a chance to establish its second collection. Furthermore, the catastrophic loss of credibility in the highly insular, perception-driven world of high fashion would render the Logan name entirely toxic. Buyers would cancel orders, investors would flee, and the glittering empire Katie envisioned would collapse into a pile of worthless, legally embattled rubble. As the dust refuses to settle from this monumental fashion earthquake, the landscape of Los Angeles remains forever altered. The sudden resignation of Eric Forster, the devastating multi-million-dollar lawsuit, and the vicious, dirty media retaliation have set the stage for a conflict of epic, tragic proportions. Katie Logan Spencer stands at the center of the storm, a devastated woman fighting for her professional life while wrestling with the ghosts of her mentorship and the dark reality of her husband's ruthlessness. Hope Logan remains tragically trapped in the crossfire, her dreams of creative freedom overshadowed by a bitter, unbridgeable family war. The war has only just begun, and the